Back to the early days. You know how we y'all ready for this? I'm going waves.
It's the Going Way Back Show with Money B. You're home for classic hip hop, raw and uncut. Of course,
check,
I'm
1,
your
2.
host, Money B.
Yeah, Money B.
I have my co-host, Ty Teasy, in the building.
Hey.
Teasy, can you see Teasy? I want to make sure that that's straight. You feel me? And, of course, DJ Always in the building.
What up, what up?
Doing the goddamn thing.
Man,
Missed
trying
y'all
to put it
last
down.
And, of course, we have a special guest engineer in the building. Playboy, what's your name again? I'm sorry.
Brandon, man.
Brandon. What up, Brandon?
What up? What's
B-Man
going on, Money
in
B?
the house.
And I'm sure Brandon is going to do a great job this evening.
It's my first show.
First show.
He better.
Yeah, we can tell.
And how great is it that your first show is an interview with Big Daddy Kane
Big Dizzle.
Beautiful thing.
in the motherfucking house? Now, if you like me, man, I came up on Big Daddy Kane. That's my guy. And I'm excited to speak to him. He should be calling any minute. And
Big
if you have
Daddy
questions
Kane.
for Big Daddy Kane, please. Right now, you probably, if he calls, you have to hit us on the chat room with a question. And that, what's the number if you want to call in anyway?
888-806-8826.
Call in. We're going to be doing a lot. So, always, let's set it off. So
Yes, sir.
Right now, we're going to set it off with Big Daddy Kane in the house. Right here on the Going Way Back Show with Money B.
Money B.
Of course. Well, Kane, let's start from the top, man. You've been in the game for almost 30 years, and you're still going strong. I mean, you damn near look the same. I'm kind of jealous when I see you on video and everything else. I'm like, dog, he looked like the same dude, you know. And then I look at the videos, you dancing around and you doing your thing. Like, what is it? How do you stay so young and stay so involved and into it, and to really stay interested? Because I know the game has changed. And I know sometimes I'll be like, man, you know, these guys ain't doing what we was doing. You know, I love hip hop, but how do you just stay motivated and stay Big Daddy Kane?
I mean, I just enjoy what I do. I mean, you know, it's like, you know, you have a love and a passion for what you do. It's like the type of thing where, you know, you just really, you know, give it your all and stay in it, you know. Like, you know, you want to, you know, be able to, you know, satisfy your fan base every night and play the part. So, I mean, I guess that's what it is, really.
Now, you know, one of the main reasons when I called you, I was like, yo, you coming to the West Coast. You have a couple of shows coming up out here, and I have obviously, you know, it's the internet, so I have people listen to the show around the globe, but I have a huge contingency out here on the West. So you're coming to the West Coast, right? So tell everybody about what you got going on, first and foremost.
Oh, well, you know, we'll be out there in Sacramento at Stripes, I believe, and then that's on Friday, and then Saturday we'll be at Yoshi's in San Francisco. And we're gonna be, you know, doing shows with the full band, Last Supper, and it's gonna be a different experience, you know, to see the whole, you know, the full band with the horn section and everything, and that whole live performance vibe, man. It's gonna be kind of hot.
Now, you know, I noticed that you mentioned that, and one thing that I just left from up there, and everybody was talking about you coming next week. I wish I was there in the Bay, but you got the full band, and you know, including myself, a lot of hip hop artists are now performing with bands, but back in the day that was like taboo. So, like, what took us so long, and why didn't it work back then? Because I remember back in the day, I mean, LL, he tried to do a band thing on one of the tours we was with, and everybody was like, this is whack. Niggas like, fuck a band, but now everybody want a band.
Well, you know, back then, pretty much all the songs you heard were sampled music.
Right.
So therefore, everybody, it's like it just felt better when you're listening to the track, because the drummer, whatever drum set he using, it wasn't the same drums that was sampled from that 60s or 70s song that you used, and it didn't have that feel. It didn't have the 808 thump, that's hitting on the one. None of that was there, so it didn't, hit your chest the way it would in the club or in your car, So it was really like a different feel. Nowadays you have a lot of, like people don't really sample anymore. It's original music. So when it's played by the band, it can sound, real similar. And then also you have a younger generation that grew up liking band music. You have a lot of young cats that listen to different genres of music and they like band music.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel you on the samples, but my whole thing was, even when I would work with live musicians and we would listen to the samples, like say you play a James Brown song or whoever, Curtis Mayfield, and be like, why can't your drum sound just like that? And I know, like back in the 60s, they would still go out with their bands and it sounded like them. So, I don't know.
I mean, it's the type, like I'm saying, it's like if you go out right now and you sit there and say, yo, I need a 1958 Rogers drum set,
right?
Specifically Holiday, and I need the such and such Ludwig snare to go with it, then yeah, it's going to sound, pretty much just like the record, especially if you got it mic'd properly. But,
right.
You ask for some, brand new Pearl drum set or DW set that's, really for arena playing.
Right.
It's not going to sound like, it did back in the days. So it's really, like I said, it's about, the equipment that you use.
Well, I'm glad that we're at this point because, I just did a show with Razcast at Yoshi's last Friday.
Drop.
And we had a band. Yeah, drop. You know how we do it. Shout out to me. Yeah, we did that. Drop. And it was, it was a great show with the band. We put it together, and Yoshi's is a great room. I can't wait till you get there because the sound is superb. So you're gonna be happy. Everybody's gonna be happy to see your show. But let's get, to the meat of what's going on right now, and then maybe you can shed some light and explain some shit to me. Like everybody's up in arms over this Kendrick Lamar shit and this line that he said. And I actually heard the song for the first time today, and I thought it was good. And actually, I missed the whole "I'm the King of New York." What I took from it was he was kind of making an assembly of like, I'm a Muslim that eat pork, such and such. I'm the King of New York, like just basically to get a rise out of people.
Exactly.
Why is everybody in New York tripping the way they tripping? Big Daddy Kane?
Well, I mean, this younger generation has a tendency to
sensitive motherfuckers.
Blow things way out of proportion, I mean, when I heard it, I thought something completely different because I heard the Tupac reference afterwards. So I thought that he was trying to compare himself to Biggie when he said, "I'm the King of New York."
See, I didn't get that at all.
He compared himself to Pac right afterwards. So I thought he was like basically saying, like he's the new Biggie, he's the new Pac, when he said, he's the King of New York. But I mean, it's like, regardless to what he was saying, I mean, the young homie spit a hot verse and he did something real new because, like you take like the 4321 joint, LL went at Cannabis on the joint.
Right.
But I mean, this was like type of situation where he changed his rhyme and wrote something, about Cannabis after the fact.
Right.
This is something where this dude is on another dude's song, going at the dude whose song he's on, both of the dudes that's on the song, and then a whole bunch of other cats, and name dropping.
But don't you think that's refreshing? It's like, ain't that what you...
Exactly.
Ain't that what,
I mean, I thought it was a phenomenal hip-hop, move. I mean, I thought it was a phenomenal thing, I mean, honestly, I like what he did more than I even like the rhyme. The rhyme is crazy too, but I like what he did more than I like the rhyme. And, it's that type of thing that really, I think, can make MCs step their game up,
Right. So
Yeah.
and actually have a question from one of our listeners, Nelson out of Washington D.C. He actually hit me later. He wanted me to ask you, do you think is this going to be? Do you think that this can be a turning point to where cats will go back to be like, man, you need to be lyrically relevant?
Well, it depends.
Okay.
If Big Sean, J Electronica, J Cole, and so on was to say, oh, word, homie? Okay, cool. And put their pen to that paper and go at dude, then you're going to see a difference in the game, because it's going to be the type of thing where now your fan base are listening more to what you're saying, as opposed to just a little simple catchy hook and, doing a little, bounce dance or whatever off the, the trap music beat, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be the type of thing where now they really want to hear what you're saying, and that's going to bring lyrics back into play and make MCs shine and become the forefront of their music.
Like
if that happens, then yeah, there's a change. But if the only thing happens is that rappers get on Facebook and Twitter saying, F Kendrick, man, who he think he is, that nigga ain't nobody. If that's what it becomes, then it's going to stay the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's whack. And I just want to, my whole thing is, like, I've lived it, so there's nothing new under the sun. And there's something about healthy competition.
Right.
I think we've all had an experience, like, I've heard and I've read that, it was the same thing between you and Kool G Rap. You guys had a healthy competition. Like,
absolutely.
And same way he said that, I just remember, like, anytime me and Tupac would do a song and we was on it, I always say, like, nigga, I killed you on their song. He'd be like, no, I didn't. I'd be like, it was nothing wrong with that.
It was friendly competition.
Yeah, you wanted to smash the guy that was next
Everybody
to you.
wants to be the best. If you're in the industry, you should want to be the best.
But I just feel like...
I know I'm probably getting ready to lose about 8,000 Twitter fans when I say this, and everybody's going to be mad at me in the morning. But, yeah, you actually did when I get around. You ain't saying nothing new.
Okay.
You didn't say nothing new.
You trying to tell him, but he...
Hey, Kane, let me tell you a story. When I left the studio... Because at the time, Pac was living in L.A., so he actually sent the track back up to the Bay Area, and I was late to the studio. But Pac was always, he planned ahead. He actually wrote Shock G's verse in that song. And he wrote a verse for me just in case I didn't get there. And he was like, I wrote it to make it easy. Y'all just go and say what I wrote if it's that hard.
When he was like, shit.
I got to the studio, I was like, yo, I'm not saying that shit. He was like, He had a verse. It actually is on the remix version on the Death Row Greatest Hits or whatever. They took me off and put the verse that he wrote. My fofo, make sure your kids don't grow. I was I'm not saying that shit.
That is not you at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So I spit the verse, and then when I was on my way home, Pac called me. He was like, "Did you do it?" I was like, "Nigga, I killed your song." He was like, "Fuck you." I was like, "Whatever." I was like, "Wait till you hear it."
Listen.
Trust me. I was like, trust me, Pac. I killed you on your song. So you ain't saying nothing new. Your followers, they gonna love you even more. They were like, Big Daddy Kane told the truth.
Sure did. And
but that's how it was with us. Like, it had no problem. He wasn't mad at me. I just told the truth.
Oh, well, I mean, you're not supposed to be, because, I mean, it's all love. I mean, right. I think that, I shined on the first symphony, and I think that G-Rap got me on the second one.
Right. Yeah, and vice versa. Like, on same song, we use the same way. And a lot of people think that Pac killed same song.
Some folks were actually offended that he didn't mention them in that verse.
Wait, say that again?
Some folks were actually offended that Kendrick didn't mention them in that verse. Like,
why they didn't, the greatest.
Like if you battling somebody, why they didn't mention me?
You can't name everybody, but
you can. I just thought that was a strong statement. And to bring it back, like, man, y'all my friends, but shit, I'm trying to kill y'all.
Right.
This is...
Yeah, I mean, that was just... I love what he was saying, man. It's hilarious.
It was out the chain.
That's hip hop. That's hip hop for real.
Right. And so hopefully, if that's what it is, if we bring hip hop back into the game, then I love it. Right. Now let me ask you a question. In your mind, is there right now lyrically a true king of New York?
I mean, I guess it would still be Jay.
Jay.
Killing it.
Yes.
Okay.
I
look,
mean,
okay.
it's like, Jay has pretty much been there for a long period of time. I mean, if you're talking about one of the new rappers of today, it's kind of, I couldn't really say that because, I mean, most of those cats rhyme like, dirty South rappers now.
Right, and I guess that's the big thing, like the big
Look at
conflict.
my chains. Look at my watch. Look at my car.
Like, and what do you think about that when you hear,
And I'm
like,
sweating because I popped up.
and you're probably, I'm sure you're in New York a lot more than I am, but I hear like that's what New York rap has come to, trying to be that. And do you feel like that's an okay evolution, or are you disappointed in New York hip hop?
Well, no, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed in New York hip hop. What I would say is I'm disappointed with what a lot of the direction that a lot of New York MCs are going, because I mean, it's like plain and simple, that's the birthplace.
Of course.
And I mean, if you can't, keep your originality, then I don't know why you're doing it. Because I mean, when people like Ice-T, NWA, King T, when these cats came out, the East Coast, I mean, New York embraced them. Mm-hmm. I remember watching Ice Cube rip the Apollo down.
I was there.
People embraced it. You remember when we was on tour together?
Right.
Y'all, did y'all thing at Newark Symphony Hall. You
right.
know, I mean, you embraced by New York. The Ghetto Boys, those cats, same type of feel. I mean, when UGK came out, did Big Pimpin' It with Jay at Summer Jam. I mean, embraced. So I mean, it's like you have people that come from different regions around the world that you accept, and they've always accepted you for who you are. So I don't know why someone would try to want to sound like someone from a different region.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like been my thing. Is like we come from an era where if somebody did something, you wanted to do something different. Now everybody wants to follow and do whatever. But let me ask you this: that being said, who in your assessment kind of embodies what Big Daddy Kane is or was? And let me explain that. Meaning that, obviously, I always tell people there are only a handful of MCs that are, like, when they came out, they changed the game. Like, you've never heard that before. There was you, there was Rakim, even Melly Mel, you know what I mean? That changed the game. Like, when it came out, I was like, there's no doubt about it, this is the hot nigga. But after a while, sometimes you listen like, okay, you feel like, and for an example, I feel like Outkast, when they had that, what was that album when they did the double album?
The Love Below.
Love Below, right?
Speaker box.
I felt like,
below.
I felt like they kind of carried what me and Shock, what Digital Underground was about. You know what I mean? That was like the evolution of what we started doing. Even though they didn't get it from us, but I was proud to know that what we were trying to do, they took it to the next level. So who do you feel is doing that as far as what your hip hop was and what you were all about? Who's doing, like, who's elevated to it? Like, if you saw Big Daddy Kane elevated, like, who's doing that right now for you?
I mean, I don't really. It's really hard to say. Anybody. I mean, it's like if I said it, I wouldn't say it all. I would have to name several people for different.
Hey, just name a couple and then tell me why.
Your top.
I mean, if we were talking about lyrics, I mean, because of yesterday, I would probably have to say, Kendrick.
Okay.
If we was talking about being an artist, being that person that knows how to make your fan base embrace you, and want to look and be like you, I would probably, say Lil Wayne.
Okay.
I mean,
Even with his skinny jeans and everything?
I mean, what you see the little kids doing, that's what I see them wearing. I see them wearing little skinny jeans with, their drawers, half their drawers showing. Looking just like, that's all I see the kids doing. I mean, I have a 19-year-old, that's what he's doing.
You should choke him by his neck.
Slap him with his skateboard.
I see, these kids, wearing the skinny jeans with them sagging dumb low like Wayne. I see them with the dreads, tattoos on their face, and all types of stuff. So I mean, he is doing what I saw LL do with the Kangos, I did with the flat top, Run DMC did with the Adidas. So I mean, it's like it would be different artists for different reasons. I couldn't really sit there and say like back in the days I could name a bunch of artists that was dope because he brought the lyrics, he brought the stage show, he brought that whole artistry to make you want to look like him, sound like him. Right now I couldn't really say that about one artist with that whole package.
Well, yeah, I understand that. Well,
Westbrook just took it a little
lyrically,
too far.
who I always, and this is just me, and tell me what you think about this. I think lyrically, who kind of like feels like is carrying the same vibe for me is probably Black Thought from the Roots, cause he rock. I've always known you like, no matter what, I was like, Kane be rocking, and then you take the stage seriously. You feel me? When you get on, you rock, and I always see Black Thought. I see him as that MC that he takes that craft of rocking the crowd very, very seriously.
To me, that means.
Oh yeah, and he's a great lyricist. He's a great, superb lyricist.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Dope.
A great lyricist that understands great lyricism and the stage.
But once again, see, it's like we're talking about two things. Yes. Now when we go to the artistry side, I don't really see a bunch of young kids wanting to look like Thought or act like Thought. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm saying it's like I don't really see that one artist that has that entire package. Yeah. And then also, let's keep in mind, Thought's been around as long as Jay.
Right.
So he's not really a new artist either.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. That you just dispelled my whole thing. I'm sorry.
If you don't mind, there's a question in the from the chat room.
We have a question from the chat room.
This comes from Ben. Ben wants to know your thoughts on Joey Badass.
I mean, I haven't heard much from dude, but what I heard, I mean, I like him. I like the fact that he's doing like that old school type of flavor. You sound like a brother that had like a heavy Red Man, maybe Method Man influence. Man, I can dig him.
Really?
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me? I haven't heard Joey Badass. I just got only thing I know about Joey Badass is my brother. He made a response to the Kendrick Lamar thing, and my brother said it was whack. So I can't wait to hear it.
That was the whole purpose of the Kendrick Lamar thing. It was to get people
involved.
to jumping out of the seats. Get on your game.
I think
because there's somebody coming for you.
You think what?
You should have submitted a verse.
Well, you know what's funny? Hey, Kane, you want to hear something real crazy?
Any MC that heard that should have wrote a verse just off of hearing it.
And
They should have wrote just to have it, just because they were called out.
Well,
sorta.
What's funny is years ago, I did a record. I don't know who it was or if it even came out, but in the verse, I said, I was just talking shit. I was like, because hip hop started in Oakland. And the reason I said that was just because I said something. I was like coming off of like a KRS rhyme. I forget. Back in I was using this cadence, but I just said hip hop started in Oakland. But what I was really saying in the thing was when I started rapping was when hip hop started for me.
Right.
But I was waiting to hear somebody come back and challenge me.
Nobody did.
Hey, well, I don't even know if it came out, but I just thought it was funny.
That's
how I look at the same thing of Kendrick saying
it could have just been
the New
a
York
publicity
shit.
stunt too, but I don't see why because he's won awards. So.
Nah, I thought it was dope.
I will say this too. That just lets you know with the response that he got. That just lets you know how many people are really actually looking at him and listening.
Hey,
to
Kane,
him.
You there? Kane,
I'm here. I'm here.
let me ask you a question. If this was your record and you was Big Sean, and say Craig G and Shantae and everybody did a joint, and then everybody's talking about Craig G verse on your joint, how would you be feeling right now? Because the name is Big Sean's song, but everybody talking about Kendrick Lamar.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, in a situation like that, it wouldn't have came out that way. Because
because you would have killed it.
Once I heard, his verse and what he was talking about, then I would have had to I would have had to call Jay Electronica and explain to him why I was taking him off the song.
Oh.
And me and Kendrick, we're gonna have to do 2 extra verses.
Hey, but let's explore this. What if Big Sean really in his mind thought that his verse was better? Because we all have egos.
Freaking
I
nursery
read
rhyme.
something today where he did say that.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, when we did the same song, me and Pac, to the end of the days, I'd be like, no, my verse was better. He's like, nah, kid. I was like, nigga, please. That's my song. So you don't know if you really think that you did the thing, and I'm pretty sure I like Big Sean verse on that song.
It's not.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like this here. The difference is this.
Yeah.
It's like had Kendrick wrote a verse that I thought was better than mine, I'm gonna dap him up and be like, dog, you killed it, man. You make me not even want to be on my own song, man.
Right.
You killed it. But when you write a verse going at me, see, that's the difference. Like having a better verse, that that's cool. I mean, I'm not mad at
Yeah,
the
that
person
happens
having a better
sometimes.
verse.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
Right.
Make me want to step my game up. So that's cool. But you going at me on my song, then I would have to say, okay, you know what? Hold up, we need to shift things around. Jay, I'm gonna use you on another joint on the album. Listen, in all fairness, I'm about to get at your ass. So write one more verse going at me, so you understand where I'm going with mine. All right, and let's just do it like that, and we'll be the first people to actually get in the studio and record a battle song.
And let's just make it right. Well, all right. Let's switch gears. Now, of course, we talked about it earlier. You brought Jay out, and actually I witnessed because we was on the same tour, Jay-Z and everything. But, one thing I've noticed is like you've had appearances on your albums, and you've appeared on a lot of people's albums. But why has Jay-Z never appeared on any of your music? Being that was your guy, and you brought him in like that.
Really for selfish reasons, because at the time, I was unhappy with the label, and when I tried to shop Jay there, they wasn't interested in him.
Oh, word?
Yeah. And, and I was unhappy with the label because of other reasons. So it was like, it was type of thing where I'm just like, that's my hidden treasure. Y'all ain't even getting none of that. I'm gonna let him blow elsewhere.
Oh, like you're not fucking with them, basically.
Yeah.
I could dig that.
I was trying to get him signed elsewhere.
Well, in hindsight, did he ever ask you to appear on any of his music?
Nah.
That nigga was hating.
Nah, I mean, maybe because you just asked me a question that I never realized, really. That I didn't put him on. So, I mean, who knows? He could have felt that, he ain't put me on none of his joints.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what he told me.
Huh?
That's what he told me.
Oh, okay. See,
nah.
Look at you.
Oh, but I mean, no. I mean, that's not nothing to be upset about.
Nah, I'm just fucking with you, Kane.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah, he was like, man, this nigga Kane didn't put me on nothing. Nothing. I'm gonna mess with you because you my guy.
Wait a minute, hold on, you bugging. He was on Show and Prove with me. Him, Old Dirty Bastards, Shaheen. And I think, he was on. Well, but then again, like I said, that wasn't Warner Brothers. That was on MCA.
Right.
That was with a different label. You see what I'm saying?
So I had to yank your chain. Now let's get into, like you said, influence. I heard you mention earlier about, the flat top. You kind of like bought the whole flat top fade thing, even though, it was the cameo fade or whatnot. But I don't know if you've noticed, it's kind of coming back. You
It's
know,
coming back. It's back. I
Yeah.
just saw a Japanese kid on the escalator
Right.
in the airport rocking.
you know, and
That's
Iman
right.
Shepherd
That's right.
and a lot of NBA cats, and you know,
All
the
the
fade
cuts,
is back.
The cuts
So
in the head.
I mean,
the design.
could you ever see yourself like bringing?
No, it's not gonna happen.
He said it's not gonna happen. Okay, well,
It's for his son.
Are you getting the George Jefferson up there, or you just don't want to bring it back?
Oh,
That's
no,
not right.
ain't nothing wrong with my hairline.
okay, well let me talk to you, Big Daddy Kane, cause you my guy. So I'm gonna put you out there for a hot second.
Go ahead.
I feel like
I'm gonna come back. I'm
hey,
letting you know right
you can't come
now.
back. But like you said, you said fashion trends and whatnot. But I remember you were one of the first cats to kind of like grow up. You know what I mean? You know, you had the suits and everything. But then I don't know if it's the Barry White syndrome. You hanging out with my guy Barry White. But then you started, you know, you was butt naked everywhere. You know, you and like, you know, I would have pictures.
In Madonna's
But I'm not the type
book,
of guy. Like I don't show like this. This is not the show to show dudes with chocolate boxes of chocolate in their drawers. You know what I mean?
So what are you getting at?
I'm just saying.
Are you
what I'm
are you having a pause?
No,
moment?
not
You
at
need
all.
to pause
What I'm
right
saying
now.
is the
Tell him,
demand.
Cheesy.
The demand for Big Daddy Kane was so great with the women. I think that he kind of, you know, in my mind, I was like,
He was giving them what they wanted.
he was giving the women what they wanted.
and they wasn't mad.
And I think, wasn't you in Playgirl?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Playgirl,
So he did.
Madonna book.
Yeah, you know,
Well,
he was giving them the Big Daddy.
you
He was
mad?
giving them the Kane.
are you mad?
I'm not mad. I'm just saying, at the end of the day,
He beat
like,
him
do you
to
look,
it.
do you
Let me
look back?
take
Do you
it-
look
let me
back at
take
some
it.
of that stuff and be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't show my dick to some.
He
to
was a
them.
crowd pleaser, so
To
there's
the world?
nothing wrong with that.
Well, no, I mean, it's like, there's female fans, there's male fans,
Right.
There's young
So how did you balance
older
it?
fans. I tried to please them all, and I mean, what we did with that, yeah, that was absolutely something for the ladies. I wasn't taking my clothes off for no man.
Obviously.
It was for the ladies, and it was something a lot of them appreciate. Of course, the fellas gonna get upset because they want to hear the hard lyrics.
I was upset.
And also, they don't want to hear see their girl got a picture of me naked, and nothing like that either.
I gotta find them old books.
I just, oh my God! All you gotta do is
My
Google
brother,
it.
The other brother that's on the line, what complexion are you?
They're the same complexion. They
I'm
actually
light
look like
skinned.
cousins.
I'm light skinned.
Yeah, we
light
both
skin.
got freckles and
Yeah,
everything. He looked
yeah.
like he looked like a big me.
There was a time period, what I'm saying, where, like cats like myself, it was difficult for us to get action because of people like y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with a brother in the business making dark skin sexy, it also opened the doorway for a lot of dark skinned men that couldn't get no action. So, with that, to all my dark skinned brothers, you're welcome.
So you trying to say you
Exactly.
started Wesley Snipes' career?
He started it. R. Kelly. He started R. Kelly's career.
You started.
all
You started
Wesley
Wesley.
Snipes.
You started Wesley Snipes.
that. Passenger 57.
He started Wesley Snipes' career.
I ain't hating
Hold on,
you, Kane.
okay. So that being said, but look, you saying that, like Kane, I was with you. So I'm gonna say that, and I always tell everybody, I've never seen the women on nothing. Like I hear stories about Marvin Gaye and whoever. In my experience, like I would see whole floors, like 2 floors, waiting to get to Big Daddy Kane. So Kane, let me ask you this: with social media and smartphones and
Oh shit.
and the technology that we have
He would have been
today,
in trouble.
do you think that we have gotten away with what we was getting away with back then? Like, what do you
We had
like?
videotapes back then.
What do you
Oh, nah.
what do you think about that? Like, cats can't really move around.
Nah, never. There's no way in the world we would have been sued for every single thing every week, man. Every week I'd have probably
They
got
would've kept
sued
TMZ
or
open.
arrested for something.
For something, because it can, and I actually heard, I don't know what it was, but I seen a video clip of you talking about, when we were on tour, and remember the chick in San Diego,
Uh huh.
right? And I remember that, And
What
I was
about
just
the
like,
chick in the San Diego?
she was just some chick in San Diego that was ready
That was
for.
the funniest thing I had ever seen because,
Tell a story.
Well,
tell a
us
story.
about
The
it.
worker bee.
well, I was in my room and Money B, I believe, came and got me
I did.
and was like,
minute.
"Yo, we got this here bad one in the room, man." But she kind of, yo, won't you come in and holler at her, So I'm coming to, make honey want to, get down and whatnot. I come in the room, yo, these dudes is in there wilding, man. I mean, they in there, yo, you know what I'm saying, pulling on somebody up on the bed with his yam out, and yo, they in there wilding, man. So I'm like trying to calm it down, and I'm like, yo, and I mean, I'm trying to calm it down. Then it just got to the point where I'm like, all right, look, y'all leave. And let me just talk to her for 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes turned into
That's all
55
she
minutes.
needed.
And I'll bring her y'all back in when she's ready. And I think it might have been Pac. I think it might have been Pac that I was trying to like pull the hold on. I can't remember, but everybody left out, and I filleted it and got the hell up out of there.
Okay, let me tell you the
As
extra
you
part of
should.
that story. So, like I said, I remember this night, and what was so crazy about it, she was out of control. She was with everything, and I think I want to say it was either Schmoovy Schmoove. Remember Schmoovy Schmoove that was with us? Singing, it was a guy that was with us, or it could have been School Lover. I forget who room, but I remember somebody had a you know how you fill your bathtub up with beers and you have ice and everything. So at the end of the night,
Old school cooler.
this chick is laying in the ice, and the only thing that's sticking out the water is her face. She was just done.
Is that how he said he filleted?
Nah,
You
I mean, it
filleted?
was just at the end, and I was
Had
just
to put
like,
her shit
man,
nice.
somebody need to take care of this,
He took care of it.
because she was out of control.
Ice melt, she gonna drown.
But just imagine if it was today's day, social media and everybody
would've
had
been a
cameras,
bunch of footage.
somebody would have had some footage of that, and we would have all been looking
Under the jail.
crazy. Not I mean,
Yeah, because see, that's what I was scared about. That's because like, I mean, I don't remember who it was, but son was on the bed, wilding, like jumping up and down, wilding with his joint out, man. So I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, I don't want to be a part of this,
Hey.
know.
And those was the times. It's like it's been a lot of those stories, and obviously, I mean, for my fans, or not my fans, but the people that's listening to the show, fans of the show, Kane, I've told you this story plenty of times. I'm gonna be as short as I can. I'm just gonna say it. This is a funny story. So,
Oh, Lord.
no,
Short. Hurry
Very
up.
short, very short.
We
Back
have
in the
a
day-
question from the chat room.
let's get to this question real quick. What's the question?
The
Yeah.
question is there an artist that you wish you would have worked with before they passed away?
Yeah, definitely Biggie. I've had the opportunity to work with Pac on like 2 different songs. We did one together, and then me and him was featured on one of Hammer's songs. But yeah, I would have loved to have worked with Biggie, and I definitely would have loved to work with Marvin Gaye.
That would have been dope. I think that would have been perfect marriage. But speaking of Biggie, I said I wasn't gonna say it. What's up with your guy, man, Mr. C? Last time we talked,
Oh, Lord.
I mean, I know it's old, but I'm just saying, last time we talked, we thought it was over, but then he go and do some other stuff. Like, have you ever thought of reaching out and be like, yo, dog? Or do y'all just have no relationship at all?
Oh, nah, that's my dude. I mean, we talk. I mean, I reached out to him afterwards, just to ask him, yo, you okay?
Yeah.
And, he said he was good, and, he tried to, like, go and, he tried to explain, what was happening, and I just basically told him, man, I've known you since 1984, my brother. I mean, I don't really care. I don't want to know. We don't have to talk about that,
Right. That's what I'm saying, like,
I'm a
supportive.
love
Like,
for
what can you do?
Well, may I make a suggestion? Next time you speak with him, he should
I
have.
tell you what, no, just tell him yourself, baby. Whatever it is you want to say, tell him yourself.
Just say it.
whatever
Say it. No, I want to hear what she about
Well,
to say.
all I was just going to suggest is that maybe he should just have someone on retainer where he's not caught up in the streets. You know what I mean? Like have somebody on that speed dial instead of going out on the streets soliciting.
Get over here, Mitch.
I mean,
I think
you know.
you should talk to the brother about that. I mean,
Okay, well,
Yeah, I mean, I think
text
it's
us
I
his
choose
number.
not to get into his personal business. I'd rather just keep the relationship we've had for
Okay.
Wise
I
decision.
don't know how many years.
yeah, we gonna keep it
okay.
right. He's
well,
my guy.
Well, if you can just text us his number, then we'll get that message out to him. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Lord have mercy. You see what I go through, Kane?
Oh, it's all good. It's entertaining, man. You have a great crew up there, brother.
Yeah, they always do it.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna let you get out, but before I do, we have a segment on our show called Classic Battle, where we play classic battles in hip hop. So I mean, if we have a little time, I'm gonna get into it. But did you ever get involved with the whole Juice Crew, Boogie Down Productions, the little beef? Because I never heard you respond or anything. I know it was mostly KRS going at Shan and all that stuff, but I mean, crew to crew, like, what was your whole
here's
thought process?
basically
What was
what
that
happened.
about? Okay.
When I came along and pretty much was officially down with the Juice Crew,
Right.
it was already in the midst.
Okay.
And Fly Tide, who's ran the Juice Crew of the label, he came to me and he said, "Yo, I need you to end this."
Oh.
But I refused to do it because at that point in time, me and Shan didn't really Shan is my man right now. We
Right.
talk on the regular, and I love him like a brother. But at that time, we weren't really cool, type of thing. We're on the same label, and dude didn't really refer to me by my name. Like, I'm sitting right there in the same room, and he's calling me the new nigga.
So
I
he was
just
like
drive
jealous, right?
I
He didn't
drive
want you
my
to
car
do that. Yeah.
because I know the new nigga gonna be taking up space in the limo, stuff like that,
Right.
So it was and it wasn't nothing I could really say because I wasn't really, really down, what I'm saying, to try to beef with dude. I may lose a record deal. So I just had to eat that all that time period. But at the same time, KRS-One and Miss Melody, they came to my parents' house and helped me move from out with my family into my own apartment.
Real talk.
So it was the type of thing where me and KRS had a relationship, and Shan didn't really speak to me. So when I was asked to get involved, I was like,
Yeah, it's
I
like,
don't have
no
a problem
way.
with KRS.
Yeah. That makes sense. I wouldn't even say it. So, and another thing was, speaking on the whole battle tip, what was the deal with LL Cool J? Did y'all ever have a beef? Because a lot of people think that whole, it gets no rougher. He's like the ABC rappers, the A, the B, the C, the C. It's like,
He started with that.
like, how did you take that? Or did y'all ever talk about it? Because I know y'all cool now.
Nah, me and L, we had a conversation one time.
About that?
About a whole different song.
Okay.
And, we talked on the phone, and, that was that. We squashed it, that was that.
But you didn't think that was a diss when he said that, when that song?
I mean, it's like, there's a lot of stuff that, L has said through his career that, I could have taken a certain way. But, I mean, it's the type of thing where, I don't know, I just felt like, maybe it's, the brother's competitive nature to flirt with, stuff like that, But, dude used to, be at the crib all the time. So I felt like, he cool, but I mean, I don't know. I guess one of the things was like you seeing someone at your crib all the time, and it's like if it was that type of situation, then I'm pretty sure he would say more.
Right.
I mean, the one time when I did address it, he said, "Nah, ain't nothing like that, all love." Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna. I'm about to just change this here whole song. So, it was like, so we never had no problem.
I'd have punched him in the face. Said, now it ain't no problem.
Nah.
Why didn't do that, Kane? you know I would have.
Oh, Lord.
You know it. I'm 5. I don't even know. I do know how tall I am.
One.
Anyway.
Oh.
Hey, we got something you want to ask Kane, because we about to let Kane go.
I
he
think
just
I'm
wanna
good.
hear.
Yeah.
Okay,
My
so
man in here,
people-
you don't have a question?
The people.
Okay, the people.
The people in the chat room is asking, how can they find you on social
Well,
media?
that's the next thing. Go ahead.
How can they what?
How can they find you on social media?
Well, on Twitter, I'm at Big Daddy Kane. Facebook, I'm official BDK. I don't even know what my Instagram is. I've never really been one of them cats that's sitting there just throwing pictures out like that. But basically, Facebook official BDK and Twitter is at Big Daddy Kane. And if you're looking for like all the tour dates and stuff, you can find that on my website, BigDaddyKane.com.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, last
Kane.
question before we get out.
Where you at? He's
What's
in
the
his phone.
Well, I just want to see, when is he coming back to the West Coast? Do shows?
He just
I don't know if you was around at the top of the conversation,
Yeah.
but I'll be there Friday and Saturday. Friday in Sacramento at Strikes, and Saturday Yoshi's in San Francisco.
Got it.
got it.
Oh, one more thing. They're asking if you could do a freestyle before
No.
you leave.
It's late.
I mean,
See what?
I mean, this is the
Nah,
chat
I'm
room.
chill.
Yeah, it's
It's
late.
chill chat room. Sorry
Yeah, it's
about
late.
that.
It's late out there. Hey, Kane. Chat room asked for everybody to freestyle.
Well, that's due from
They just wait for
Jungle
somebody-
Brothers. He,
yeah, they
he
wait
put
for
it
somebody.
down.
Like,
That's
Mike
why.
G, he got
Mike
on.
G
He did
put
his
it
thing.
down
It's all
last,
good.
2
But I'm
weeks
saying
ago.
it's like, I know it's late on the East Coast.
Yes.
So I Kane, I really
We
appreciate
really
you
appreciate
staying
it.
up.
Thank
and,
you.
And I know you had a flight, and I know you're tired. So there it is, man. Actually, Kane, I'm gonna call you a little later because I want to get some drops from the show.
All right, yeah, just hit me tomorrow, and we work it out.
That's what's up. So there it is, man. Big
Thank
Daddy
you.
Kane right here on the Going Way Back show. Money B
All right,
right here
bro.
on
Money B.
jointstudios.com. And
Peace and
Kane,
love to you all, yeah.
you have a good have a good
Night.
night, a good sleep,
A good morning.
and of course, I know everything's gonna be good for you on the West Coast. If you get out in the Bay, you need something, call me. I got you.
10 more? 10 more minutes.
Yeah,
you can
10
do
more
10 more.
minutes.
Do 10 more.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank
Always,
you.
let's look at the playlist. What we want to do? Because Kane was such a.
We got 28 bars. We got,
I mean, what you feeling?
Old school new news, maybe.
Oh yeah, let's do a little old school news.
All right. So this week, we all know Juicy J from the Academy Award winning.
You know what I know from Juicy J?
6 Mafia.
wow.
You say no to ratchet pussy, Juicy J. Kane.
Speaking of,
That's what I know about Juicy J.
he said that song "Band to Make Her Dance" was originally a love song.
Right?
He said the beat was
In
so
the hood.
well, he was
In
going to
the
make
hood.
it
In the
a
hood.
love song because the beat was so slow.
Because he loved ratchet pussy, Juicy J. Kane.
Bam.
So if anyone's wondering, his recording process consists of smoking weed, freestyling, and coming up with extra bars in the bathroom.
With some cocaine and a couple of E-pills.
Molly's.
Oh, Molly's now. I forgot. They changed the
They
name.
like to sweat for some reason. I don't know.
Woo! Okay, go ahead.
And allegedly, the record label that they were on, 3-6 Mafia was on, broke up the group because they wanted them to go pop. So Juicy J wasn't with it, so he decided to go solo.
Juicy J. Kane.
I know. I've been getting a lot of stuff from DJ Paul. So he's trying.
Juicy J. Kane.
Oh, Lord. Okay, moving on. According to YBF.com, DMX is actually going to be working with Chris Rock in a new movie.
Uh-oh.
And he's cleaned up his act for about a couple of weeks and been working on this movie. And he's playing a role that he knows best. Does anyone want to guess?
Dope fiend.
A thug.
An inmate.
Who?
Yeah, he knows what that's about.
An
Oh, yeah.
inmate
Oh,
in
okay.
prison.
I can dig it.
So,
He's been with so many times.
so the movie, they don't have a title for the movie yet.
Inmate.
It should be called-
Inmate. That's what it should be called.
Inmate.
Okay.
believe.
We'll let Chris Rock know.
All right.
Wait, is it a comedy?
We don't know if it's
Oh,
a comedy.
okay, well, it's kind of hard to come up with a title if you don't know.
Well, they
Plot
still
is.
got to work on it. All right. So, according to hiphopwire.com, Ja Rule and Ashanti are back in the studio working on some music.
Would you love me?
They took pictures and posted on Instagram. And speaking about reunions, Jay-Z and Dame Dash were seen together out drinking, taking pictures.
Saw the pic.
And honestly,
Dame's broke.
that is one bromance I wouldn't mind seeing get back together.
Them cats made money.
Personally?
Them cats knew what they was doing. What's up, Money?
No, I'm listening.
No, he said personally. What were you thinking?
Oh Lord. Moving on.
Yeah,
lastly, Nas.
I got nothing personal to say.
He said
He said personally.
I know.
It-
You said personally you like to see them back together, and I was just
I said
Oh, he was
honestly.
he was
I was just
emphasizing
emphasizing
personally.
what you
Really?
said. You said personally.
You're real personal about this?
you act like I.
honestly.
What y'all trying to say?
Not a damn thing.
Okay,
Oh, no.
This is Money
Damn
B
it.
show.
Exactly.
because y'all be fired.
Money B.
This is our show.
He definitely has the pink slips in his back pocket.
I do. Damn it.
Lastly, Nas. Nas started a fundraiser campaign to help a single father of 7 who lost his home in a fire in Washington,
Oh.
D.C.
Nice.
Oh,
The goal was to reach $20,000. Nas put up $5,000, but they went over that goal and actually made $63,000. So,
So he got a mansion now.
got something.
Oh man.
So that was Nas' good deed for the month. And that's all we have this week with the old school new news.
Yay!
okay.
That was so fake.
Aw.
Where's my hand clap?
Yeah, give us some claps. There we go. Thank you, Tom TV. All right, before we get out, and I think we're gonna go out with the 28 bars. But before we do, Tom Teasy,
Yes.
tell them where they can find you, social media.
At TON_TEEZY.
Always.
I am at Always in Your Ear on Twitter, R Always on Instagram.
That's what you get for
And,
having
you
different
know,
names.
I'm,
on all
I'm
your
sorry,
switch
man.
that
I'm
up.
trying
Switch
to.
it up.
You need to fix it,
You
man.
know what's crazy? It's like
What?
I go on one and it's available. I go on the other one and it's not. So I don't.
Then you need to
You need to
refrain
find
to
one
make sure
that's
everything's
available
available.
across
Yeah.
the
Watch
board.
this. Watch this. Money B69 on everything. That's me. Now, if you want to follow the show, you know, like the Going Way Back Show fan page on Facebook, of course. And if you want to see archives of the show or the podcast, it's goingwaybackshow.com.
Where can they see the podcast or hear the podcast?
GoingWaybackShow.com.
Goingwaybackshow.com.
I'm-
Always.
And make sure you guys follow
I
us
just
on
wanted you to say it
YouTube.
again.
Oh, yeah. Going Way Back Show. Always. And then check us out every Wednesday right here.
The Joint Studio.
Same bat channel, same bat time. Jointstudios.com. We right here.
At 9:30, hopefully.
Get used to it. Yeah, hopefully 9:30.
With a smooth start.
Get used to
That's
it.
right, B, right?
It's the Goin' Way Back Show with Money B. Classic hip hop, raw and uncut.